Man, have I got some big news to share with you. Do you remember back in July when I made a short video talking about entering a coffee competition? Well, we did, and we won. Before I get into the details, let's rewind a little and I'll tell you about what entering the Golden Bean competition was like for me, and then I'll tell you what's gonna happen next. So before we could even begin to enter the Golden Bean competition, we had to get some coffee to compete with. Though the coffee we usually keep on the menu is pretty darn good, I knew that our competitors were going to be bringing the thunder. When I was searching for the competition coffee, I purposely stayed away from really fancy and expensive coffees. I knew that expensive, pretentious coffee would be kind of off-brand for us and prohibitively expensive to our customers who might want to celebrate in our success by buying a bag of coffee after the competition. We evaluated a bunch of coffee a bunch of times before settling on the coffee we thought we wanted to use. More on that later though. Evaluating coffee for a coffee competition sounds fairly easy on the surface. Getting coffee from numerous coffee importers with all the supply chain issues added a new level of complexity. Sometimes the coffees that I liked weren't even available anymore, or I couldn't get them from the warehouse that I usually get my coffee from. So when the coffees finally did arrive in my roastery in Ventura, California, the fun was just beginning. I had about 500 pounds of the coffee that we ended up selecting to play with. So I began the arduous process of profile roasting. I did numerous roasts of the exact same coffee, sometimes changing the charge temp and other times adjusting the roast time, all just to find the perfect roast. I ended up roasting the coffee 9 times before deciding on exactly which profile I wanted to use for the brew method. I'll have to say, I got a ton of experience out of this. I learned so much about coffee and so much more about my coffee roaster that I'm sure it's gonna pay off dividends in the future. Once the coffee was roasted and the profiles were set, it was time to run the coffees through one more time so that the coffee being sent to the competition was at its peak freshness. That being handled, it was time to bag up our entries and send them off. As I was going through the Golden Bean website, registering my coffees, the reality of spending $600 to enter the competition hit me head on. I was darn near close to calling it quits and just not entering at all. So we ended up entering in straight espresso with our single origin Guatemala from Sebastiano Ramirez, and the milk-based espresso with our classic Foreman espresso blend, the drip category with our flagship Glen Park drip blend, and then as a power move, the milk-based decaf category. We actually won an award for every coffee we entered. We got a bronze medal for our single origin espresso, a bronze medal for our milk-based espresso, a bronze medal for our flagship filter coffee blend, and last but not least, a silver medal for our decaf. Super proud of all these accomplishments and happy to share the great news with you. However, there's one thing left to mention. Because we scored a silver medal, we are now eligible to compete in the Golden Bean World Competition. This is gonna take place at the beginning of December in Kona, Hawaii. So you better get ready for us, Hawaii. We're coming for the gold this time. In closing, I wanna thank everyone who made this possible. I have an incredibly supportive family and group of friends who are always ready to spend endless days in the shop with me roasting, bagging, cupping, creating, and cleaning. And I want to thank Golden Bean for putting on this event. Something like this is extremely demanding, and your effort to elevate the coffee community does not go unnoticed. So, with that said, thanks again, and we will see you in Kona December 2nd.